Wendy, I guess it was just about, what, 7, 8 months ago, you were feeling bad. How bad? What was going on?
So yeah, it was back in February. I hadn't been to see my doctor, Dr. Papa, in about 2.5 years. And COVID, of course, was in there.
okay.
So for one of those years was COVID, and not many people were going in for a visit. So, and I always felt fine. I never felt like I needed to go to the doctor. I just went because I do have high blood pressure, so Lou likes to keep a check on that. And so in February, I had been feeling really bad for a few months, blurred vision, just not feeling good. I don't even know how to explain it, but I just knew something wasn't right. And so I thought, okay, I need to go in and make an appointment. But my weight was really bad, so I thought, I scheduled the appointment, I canceled it, gave myself another 2 weeks to lose a few pounds, and then went in to see him.
I mean, that's the top #1 reason why women give for not going to a doctor. And so you can see we've had this debate as to whether they should take all the scales out of their office. But were you otherwise pretty healthy?
Pretty healthy. Over the years, Lou's probably been my doctor for what? Close to 20 years, maybe?
Maybe even more.
Maybe even more. And so my cholesterol was always a little borderline, which runs in my family. And I've been to him many times where he said, okay, I'll give you 6 months to try and get the number down.
Otherwise, get it in shape.
Yes, so I would always go home and walk more, try and eat a little healthier, watch the processed foods, and would go back, and it really wouldn't change a whole lot. So when I went back this time in February, we did blood work. And I really, like I said, I knew things were not gonna look good. I'd never signed up for MyChart before. I went on and signed on for MyChart because I wanted to see my own results. And what I saw was very shocking. Before he even sent me a message, I knew it was not gonna be a good message. So
now, this is not always the case that we have the treating doctor
Right.
with a patient who's with us, but she is your patient.
She's my patient.
So
She's actually been good friends of ours for 30 years.
Before-
we both
yeah.
have twins.
tell us about this appointment and how did you work up her case? What did you do?
he usually
So-
schedules me for the end of the day, just so you know, because we end up talking for a long
right.
time.
It's true. So I knew it was going to be, there's a plus and a minus in knowing your patient as a friend. The minus is I have to have a very serious conversation with her about this blood work. And there was a couple of things about her blood work. She has hypertension. And by the time, I said I want you to come in, by the time she came in, her numbers revealed that she was in the obese range for her height and weight. And her cholesterol numbers came back, and what I told her previously about her cholesterol numbers was her 10-year risk for a heart attack was not that high. The difference now was that her LDL was 190, which changes the game. So we had a lot of stuff to talk about, but especially what I was also worried about was her risk was higher because her fasting blood glucose was higher than I'd like to be, not in the diabetic range. Her hemoglobin A1C was higher than I'd like it to be, but not in the diabetic range. And one of her liver function tests were elevated, which raised my concern for something called a non-alcoholic steatohepatosis, which is fatty liver, all of which are risk factors for diabetes.